We're live.
We are live. What is the name of this podcast?
Yeah. You know how's the best way to start a new pod? Forget the name of your pod. This is the Let's Have a Real Conversation podcast.
Yes. That is the name of the podcast.
And who are we?
People.
We're people.
2 people.
With mics.
With mics doing a podcast.
Holler.
I'm Dashing D.
I'm Chris with a K.
You can call us KD. You can call us KD. We are not affiliated with Kevin Durant, but we are KD. And this is our pod. Thank you for coming.
Alright, but I can't have them calling me Chris with a K though. That was just me being a jerk. That's an insider.
Yeah, one day we'll... Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. But I'm JD, and I'm here with Dashing D, and we're going to talk about some things. Yeah. So, let's start with Verzuz.
Yeah, we should start with Verzuz. Who is it again?
Oh, you're doing good.
Okay, so there's a Verzuz battle coming up in a couple days.
Right. So
February 15th.
Right. So on National Side Chick Day.
I knew that was coming.
Come on, that's what
National
it is.
Side Chick Day.
They decided to do Music Soul Child.
And Anthony Hamilton. How do we feel about this? I
don't think this should be a Verzuz.
Do you think it's one-sided? Do you think there's one person that's going to win this?
Okay, so Verzuz is largely a hits for hits kind of thing.
Right.
And because of that, I don't think a bunch of them should have happened. Like, this is like when SWV and Escape, it was Escape that battled, I think? Mm-hmm. I didn't watch that one. But...
that was a weird one.
Well, and that's why, because there are a lot of people who have great records, but not 20 records that the general public knows. Not 20 hit records.
Right.
So that changes things. It makes it more difficult for you to have a nice, flowing, fun, exciting, anticipating Verzuz battle.
I will say, though, Escape had a lot of places to pull music from. Mm-hmm. Because Tiny and Candy both write music for a bunch of other people. So they were able to pull out No Scrubs and all kinds of stuff like that.
Sure, but then what happened to the other squad?
They look like they didn't even want to be there.
Well, and then, but if you know you coming in to lose, you might not want to be there.
Yeah, and then we later found out that there was something going on with Coco before she got to the Verzuz battle. It was this whole thing. We don't need to get into it, but...
you're going to have to tell me off mic, because I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, there was a lot surrounding her demeanor at the Verzuz battle. She attributes to things that happened leading up to that part of the day. But we could talk about that another time.
Yeah, because ain't you supposed to leave your feelings at the door when you go to work?
I mean, yes, but I think it was a bit more traumatic than that.
Oh.
I want to say
I don't know what happened. So.
I don't know if she witnessed a robbery or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was something pretty serious. But we didn't know that at the time, and so she just looked real standoffish when you were watching it. But... to get back to Music Soul Child and Anthony, I'm going to be real honest with you.
Let's do it. Let's have a real conversation.
Anthony Hamilton is not my favorite.
I know. Talk to him.
I have a thing about textures.
Like Rice Krispies and shit?
Yeah, like, the texture of his voice doesn't agree with me. You know, I think he sounds amazing when he does certain songs.
Okay.
I love me some Charlene.
Okay.
You know, The Point of It All.
Okay.
I'm with that. I just, in general, I'm not seeking out full albums, full Anthony Hamilton albums.
Okay.
And to be fair, I'm not seeking out full Musiq Soulchild albums either.
Okay. All right.
But I feel like I know more of Music's music
catalog
than Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think the general public knows 20 Anthony Hamilton songs. Like, they're not bops or slaps, as people say.
Right.
They're not big hit singles that people know. Anthony Hamilton has more of those soul-soothing records.
He does.
And I'm not saying Musiq Soulchild doesn't, but Musiq Soulchild does have singles to pull from.
He does. He has Love. He has Just Friends.
Buddy.
I forget about... I didn't love Buddy.
No comment.
Okay. Alright, we'll leave that one alone.
Buddy was cool, but it was different because he had put out like sappy records, and then he was also like, yo, what's up?
And then he was spelling words.
Can we be buddies though?
Nigga, why you spelling?
I don't know. He wanted to spell it out.
No.
You know? He thought it would be fly if you was his Buddy.
Nah.
Fab was spelling a lot at that time, and we let him get away with it.
No, Fab can spell if he wants to spell.
But not Anthony. Not Musiq Soulchild.
Not Musiq Soulchild.
See?
Fab can spell the fuck out of a word. I mean, are we gonna... No, we don't need to get into Fab right now. We're not talking about Fab. We're talking about the Verzuz battle. So here's what I think, right? We don't think that this Verzuz battle should exist.
Yes, I agree. No, it should not.
But who's winning?
By default, it's going to be Musiq Soulchild because it's going to be the stuff that people knows. Now, I will be honest, some battles people have been nice. Uh-huh. Like, I love DMX, one of my favorite rappers ever. Very sad about him no longer being here.
R.I.P.
But when he battled Snoop Dogg was nice. Snoop Dogg was trying to play street records and let, DMX kind of have his moment.
Okay.
Snoop could have played a lot of big-ass singles, and the battle would have went very differently. If Musiq Soulchild is nice like Snoop Dogg, he might have problems.
But how many does Musiq have in the tuck anyway? I feel like this is a 10-song battle at most.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Musiq is going to pull out all his singles and features, he's got a couple records.
Features. What was he featured on?
Because even Musiq...
pull up his discography.
Alright.
I mean, go ahead.
Even Anthony Hamilton's features, they're still soulful records. They're not really huge singles.
Right.
I mean, I guess he could sing Why. Why was a big single with Jadakiss.
Yes. Okay.
That was a huge single. I'm pretty sure that was Anthony Hamilton singing.
Okay.
Anyway, my thing is...
Half Crazy. I forgot about Half Crazy.
You see?
Oh, wait. Oh, Teach Me?
You see?
Okay, music got it.
But that's what I'm saying. Now, if he's nice and tries to do soulful songs, he might have a problem.
Who knows? Wow. I forgot about all these music songs.
Musiq Soulchild has a nice group of records he can pull from. That's what I'm saying. But as far as singles go, because that's really what Verzuz is. Yeah, Verzuz is not B-sides.
It's hit records.
Yeah, Verzuz is not B-sides. Verzuz is more about hit records.
Yeah.
Because even like the Brandy and Monica battle, at one point they were doing B-sides, and you could tell in the comments and in the vibe of the audience that people were becoming less interested.
Yeah.
So if they go B-sides, Musiq Soulchild might have a problem. But it would be stupid for him to do that. He should stick... strategically, it would be wiser to stick to singles. Because what singles do we really know... not me or you, but the public really know from Anthony Hamilton. Yeah. Charlene.
Right.
Where I'm From, which is both the same album. After that, it depends on how much of a fan you are of him.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of, radio records or features on radio records, so...
Well, I feel like he came out around the time when Neo Soul was living in its own corner of music. It wasn't really,
as popular.
If you knew, you knew.
Right. I mean, that's a lot of Neo Soul stuff anyway. A lot of Neo Soul stuff doesn't play on the radio.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the problem. But I think that's the problem with a lot of these Verzuz battles, because why are they so... weird? Like, a lot of them, the people are not evenly matched.
Yeah.
But I guess it's politics too, because there have been many conversations that have come about people who say, like, I want to do a Verzuz.
Right.
And other people won't battle him. Like Fat Joe said, alleged, I don't know if it's true or not, but he said that's why he battled Ja Rule, because Ja Rule had so many hits and nobody else wanted to go against him. And he wanted Ja Rule to get shine. Hey, listen, that's what the man said.
I guess.
That's what he said. I ain't make it up. There's footage.
So before we move on and talk about a whole lot of problematic people, because that is on the agenda for today, what would be your ultimate versus battle? If you could pick any two people to go hit for hit, 20 songs, who would it be?
I don't know, because there's kind of levels, and that's what I think Verzuz has taught us. Joe Budden says it a lot, and I think he's right with this. Verzuz is kind of showing you what tiers people are in and what tiers they consider themselves in.
True.
Like, T.I. been trying to get a lot of big dogs to battle him, and they're like, no, you're not worthy of battling me.
Yeah.
And T.I. has a lot of hit records, but that shows you what other cats think. Busta been saying he want to battle since they started Verzuz.
Yeah.
He even been on people's shit and took the mic and said, yo, find me an opponent.
Find me an opponent.
I'm serious, you didn't see that one?
I'm pretty sure I saw it.
Yeah, there's a clip. It was at I think it was the Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One battle. So I don't know, because I think that the main thing, I think what makes a good Verzuz is that it's an even match. Like, when it's a blowout, it's not really as interesting. So that's a hard question. Do you have a Verzuz you would love to see?
Okay, well, so I'm going to stick to our problematic theme for this episode. And I'm going to pick one of the problematic dudes.
Breezy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see... I know what y'all are going to say. But I would like to see Usher and Chris Brown.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
I don't think... You know how whenever there's like a really tight battle, Swiss Beats and Timbaland go, it's just a celebration, guys. It's just a celebration. I would like to see that celebration happen. Now, yes, we could debate who would win. I think people think that one person wins by a tremendous gap. And I don't think that's true. I think it's close.
I think it's close because it's 20 records.
Right.
Now, if we say, hey, go ahead till y'all drop. Yeah, play all the hits. Then Breezy got a long night ahead of him.
Here's the only reason why I have said in the past that I don't think this battle is fair. It's because Usher's career started way before Breezy's did. Yeah. And
it's still going.
And Chris Brown, we know, has had some... He's problematic. That's all we need to say. Right. But so it's kind of stunted he still makes music, obviously, but it's kind of stunted his growth just on a very wide scale level. So a lot of people don't know the music that has come out in recent years, which is good music, but yeah. And I think that's why he loses at the end of the day. Okay. But I think it's close. I don't think anyone out of those two gets blown out of the water by the other. I think they both can go toe to toe. I think they can go 30, 40 songs before they really have to battle it out. Yeah.
That's why I said if it's till you drop, then yeah, Breezy has problems. But at 20 songs, no. It can be even, to be honest. Yeah. It really would be about what song gets played in response to what song. Yeah. That's interesting that's your one Verzuz.
I want to see that. And I think more than anything, I'm a lover of the music, and that's why I want to see it. Not necessarily because I want to see someone win over the other person. I just really want to see the two of them play their hits. I think that would be incredible.
I would like to see Kanye, another problematic person. And Drake. I think that would just be fun to watch.
That would be dope.
But the thing is, Drake has a cheat code. He's not going to play rap records. He's going to play pop records. So if Drake sticks to rap records...
Well, Kanye has pop records too. Kanye has enough records that...
Kanye got 20. Kanye got more than 20.
Of course, but I mean...
But Drake has 20 pop records, and that's where it gets different.
I think Kanye has 20 pop records. You don't think so?
No. I do not.
You don't think so?
I do not.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, difference of opinion is okay.
I'm just saying, I think Kanye can... I think he can pull out some pop records.
I think he has huge hits.
And maybe not records that we would consider on paper to be pop, but have gone mainstream.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
But I think there's a difference between pop and mainstream.
Well, sure. Okay.
Drake has straight up pop records.
Yes. Drake has pop records.
Lots of them.
But Drake also has mainstream records.
That's what I'm saying. So if Drake sticks to mainstream rap records and not quote-unquote pop records, I think it would be a great battle.
Because, like...
But he's not going to do that.
I'm trying to think of a song. A song like Pop Style.
I don't know what song that is.
All right.
Sorry.
Never mind. I forgot who I was talking to.
Listen.
Okay, all right.
I'm not the biggest Drake fan.
We will not go down the Drake train since... I mean, you wouldn't know where we were going, so
I wouldn't.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
So I think that's that on the Verzuz battle, right?
That's it. So that's the 15th in a couple days, and 15th. I guess we'll see how it goes. You gonna watch it?
Okay, let me tell you something. The first thing that got me was that it's not going to be on Instagram. I was like, well, then where am I supposed to watch this? Mm-hmm. You can either watch it on Verzuz TV or Triller, and I hate that Triller app. I think the Triller app is terrible. I don't know if they've made any improvements since the last time I tried to use it to watch a Verzuz battle, but all you got to do is malfunction once for me, and I'm done with you. So yikes. I don't have any interest in downloading Triller again. That being said...
You go watch it on Verzuz' website, no? Verzuz is...
Or people stream it. People will live stream it on YouTube.
Absolutely.
That being said, I have forgotten about the last 3 Verzuz battles. So, I get to the day, and then it just...
Stuff happens.
Life
be lifing.
You know... 11 p.m. comes and I go on Twitter and I'm like, wait.
What's everyone talking about?
Why is everyone talking about Big Daddy Kane?
You know what I'm saying?
You know? So, we'll see. Mm-hmm. You know, I will attempt to watch it. I think that it could be very soothing before bed.
Maybe.
Other than that, I don't... Is this going to be the move for the guys since it's National Side Chick Day? Is this like the move? Like, let me hook up my TV to VerzuzTV.com and then play music and Anthony Hamilton? Are those the vibes?
That could be a vibe. I don't know if it's the vibe.
I mean,
I'll be at work, so I don't know. Won't be any vibes where I'll be at.
I'll be napping. But, alright. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get into some problematic people.
Problematic people. There are lots of problematic people.
Should we start with Rohan?
I don't know. You want to start with Rohan? We're already on music. You want to start with music, or you just want to speak about problematic people having platforms?
There's so many problematic people with platforms. Yeah, let's start with Rohan. Let's just get Rohan out the way.
Alright. So, a lot of people know there's a huge controversy going on right now with Joe Rogan.
AKA Rohan.
And for reasons we don't want to disclose at the moment, we're calling him Rohan henceforth. So, if you hear us say Rohan, it's that guy.
Not that nigga.
Not
that guy, Rohan.
Rohan.
Let's be clear. He's no nigga of mine.
Mine either.
Okay.
But he can't be a nigga of either of ours because he's not a nigga.
Exactly. But I we need to say that because...
You're not inviting him to the barbecue?
Oh, fuck him. And he will not be coming to The barbecue, okay?
Okay.
And that is my politically correct response.
I know.
He cannot come. He cannot come. Yeah, and you know there's always that one cousin that wants to invite the person that nobody fucks with. No, that cousin isn't invited either.
Oh, damn.
No.
It's going to be a small barbecue this year.
It's going to be a small barbecue. The family reunion is getting light.
COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
6 feet.
Exactly. We
or
don't
6 states.
We don't have enough room or enough ribs.
Right.
We don't have enough. Don't come here.
Or enough ribs.
Don't come here. All right, tell the story. What did Rohan do?
Well, Rohan's done a lot for like 12 years, and Spotify is catching heat for it. And they letting all his clips out. They putting all kind of collages together and all type of clips of him saying the N-word and calling people apes. And
Yo, have you listened to the clips?
I have.
The clip?
I have. There's also a clip of him saying that someone is half black, half white, and they've got the best of both worlds because they've got
the white brain and the black brain.
They didn't say black brain, but yeah,
basically what he said, though. Paraphrasing.
Yeah, he said worse stuff than that.
Yeah, he said we have different brains.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on with Rohan. Spotify has changed their rules.
They deleted 70 episodes.
They deleted episodes.
Rohan apologized.
Rohan apologized.
He pretended to apologize.
He did the, fake publicist, I'm not really sorry apology. Where I give context and don't really apologize.
Yeah, he was basically like, well, first of all, some of these clips are from 11 years ago, so how can I be a racist if it's 2022 and I said that in 2011? That's not how that works.
Right.
Also, he basically explained it away and said, well, if you put it in context, I was using the word nigger, and it's, first of all, even problematic allies don't use the hard ER.
Right.
He was actually saying nigger.
Yep. A lot.
And I will say, I was listening to a podcast the other day, to give them credit, Higher Learning, and they decided, after playing the video of all the niggers, they decided to take one of those instances and find the entire audio and put it into context. Since his argument was, he was taken out of context.
Okay.
It's still shitty.
Well, it's shitty because he shouldn't be saying the N-word.
Exactly.
Period.
And this particular clip that they used was him defending the guy whatever guy he's been talking about, an exec from Netflix that got fired for using the N-word.
Oh.
He was defending the person because he couldn't fathom that someone would get fired for using the N-word.
And clearly we know why he couldn't fathom it.
And at first, he was referring to it as the N-word. And at some point in the conversation, he starts actually saying nigger. And it was like he was trying to double down on it, like, I don't understand why you guys have a problem with this. This doesn't, and let me defend my brethren. Because
wow. All right.
Let me defend this other man who has gotten fired.
This Klansman?
I don't understand. Exactly. I don't understand. Rohan can go, as far as I'm concerned. He will not go.
He's not going to go.
He's not going. But he can go.
Rohan is going to be sitting pretty for a hot minute.
Oh, yeah. $100 million? What are they going to do with him?
Well, that's what was reported. They're saying that might be $100 million a year. No one knows the numbers, but it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of freaking money.
And he's arguably the biggest podcaster, period. So he's not going anywhere. So
Rohan the racist. Oh, because that's the other thing. We're not allowed to call him a racist.
I mean, I don't care if he's racist or not. I care about him saying the word.
Sure.
If he's racist, and that's a whole different conversation. But
right.
him, It's an interesting conversation. Like, Indie RE had a very good point. A lot of the artists who are banding together, I think they have a good point. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't pay artists, but you're paying this guy who's saying a lot of wild shit, hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think that that's a fair point. Mm-hmm. You know, whether he's racist or not is a whole other conversation.
Sure.
Him saying the N-word so freely is problematic.
And rooted in racism, which is why I bring it up.
I'm with you.
You know? Because, sure, if he is not... There's a bunch of closet racists. There's nothing we can do about them. They exist. They're around. They do whatever they do.
They hold Senate seats.
They run schools. They are out and about.
Let's have a real conversation.
But I think it gets called to question when, and like you said, some of them hold Senate seats. We should be questioning those people too. Does it affect, and maybe Joe Rogan is not the right example for this because he is, even though he's a part of Spotify, he is a private entity. He is creating this content that is very public, but he doesn't, I don't even want to say he doesn't owe us. I don't want to say that. I don't like that. I don't like the way that sounds.
I'm letting you do your thing.
But what I'm trying to say is that I don't know. I don't even know how to materialize the fact that it could be harmful, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, it is.
If you anyone who is walking around thinking that other groups of people are inferior, mm-hmm. and then sitting in a position of power, mm-hmm. and yes, he might be talent, but he is basically the leader of his own ship. So there are a lot of people who depend on him. There are a lot of people who work with him and for him.
Right.
If he is a racist, and I think that's when the question of whether he is or isn't comes into play, could affect these people, his working relationships, the way he perceives his guests.
Yep.
The way he treats his guests.
Yep.
There are a lot of different things that stem from a racist mind.
Yeah, it's a layered conversation.
It's a very layered conversation. So I think that's why I bring it up, because yes, we can say, well, that's not really the point here, but if we start thinking about it, then there's a lot more that needs to be investigated than him saying nigger on his podcasts.
Sure.
A million times.
Right. Well, I think that first we got to stop that. First, he's got to stop saying the N-word. And Spotify backed him and then kind of reneged a little bit. They're not throwing Rogan away. They're not gonna penalize Rogan, but things are getting sticky. So that's why
Who's Rogan?
I'm sorry, Rohan.
Oh,
Rohan. So that's why public statements are happening. But Rohan's not going anywhere. So since he's not going anywhere, the N-word needs to stop.
It has to.
That's the bottom line. I think at minimum that's what has to happen.
Also, fuck him.
All right.
I mean, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. That's all I got.
That's all you got. Well, let's keep it on race-related incidents.
Ooh, Whoopi.
Or not really race-related incidents, depending on how you feel about this.
Do you think that Jewish is a race?
Jews are not a race.
Okay. We agree.
Sorry.
We agree. What did Whoopi say? I want to find it so that we can...
She said... You can pull it up, but I'm going to try to remember. She said that the Holocaust was not a race-related incident because it was white people on white people acting violently against white people. Therefore, it was man's inhumanity to man.
Yes.
Got the quote?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Okay. So they're having a conversation, I think, about a book about the Holocaust. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to skip to the part where she says, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. She said, it's not about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
Yep. There it is.
So, okay, and then when co-host Anna Navarro said that genocide was about white supremacy and going after Jews and Gypsies and Roma, Goldberg responded that it was two white groups of people.
Yep.
The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody.
Who said that part?
Whoopi.
Oh, because that part hasn't been publicized.
That part hasn't been publicized. I don't think that's the part that people were upset about. No. The part people were upset about was the fact that she said it wasn't about race.
But it wasn't about race.
It wasn't.
Whoopi's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
But she is suspended. And they're talking about firing
for 2 weeks. She's suspended for 2 weeks. She's been doing The View for...
years.
Over a decade.
Yeah.
Maybe much longer than that.
Long time.
And now she may not have a job. I mean, Whoopi gets jobs, and Whoopi will always have a job. I was watching something today, and I don't even remember what I was watching, and she was credited for directing it. I said, oh, okay, Whoopi, you EGOT.
Whoopi is chilling.
Mm-hmm. She's fine. She's fine, but when you know that this is like your regular shit, like I'm gonna get up every day and do this shit job.
Right.
I would be frustrated if I was Whoopi.
She should also be frustrated because she's put in a position where she is the only outspoken black person on the show.
Yep.
And they know that, and that's done intentionally. So if you're going to have a person play that position, you have to also give them the room to say what they want to say. And that shit wasn't wrong. Sometimes the person who you allow to have that room is going to offend people. That is just what's going to happen. And if that offended whites and Jews, sorry, not sorry. It's not wrong. It was not race. Yep. According to y'all, there are very few races. And Jews are not one of them. Yeah. So she didn't say anything wrong. She should not be suspended. She should not have any issues. As far as I'm concerned, they owe Whoopi an apology.
Here's what I heard someone say, a Jewish person. And I think that they made a good point. They said they don't think Whoopi was wrong for what she said. However, the misstep that she took was that when you are not a part of a specific group and you decide to go so hard in speaking about what that group experienced, that's when people get upset. So the point they were trying to make was, for example, if you speak about the black experience, but you know nothing about it, mm-hmm. but you I don't want to use the word aggressive because we're talking about a black woman and...
Adamantly?
Yeah, you're very adamant about what the black experience is, but you've never lived the black experience. People get frustrated with that because it's like you're telling our story. And so they said that was really Whoopi's only mistake, is that Whoopi was very passionate and very eager to say what she was saying about the Jews. And perhaps this was something that needed to come from the Jews. Now, I don't think that in any way makes her wrong for what she did. I think Whoopi has sat next to Joy Behar for however many years she's been on that show, and Joy Behar is a Jewish woman.
Yep.
If Whoopi was anti-Semitic, we would have known Whoopi was anti-Semitic a really long time ago.
Of course.
And we can't ignore the fact that Whoopi is a black woman.
Right.
And black women tend to get the shit end of the stick sometimes.
Right.
When it comes to things like this, mm-hmm. people just want to react. Mm-hmm. and get them the fuck out of there.
Right.
And I think that's what's happening here. I don't think Whoopi needs to be suspended.
No.
I think if Whoopi would have came back on, which she basically did, she was interviewed by someone and she clarified what she meant. She explained what she meant. I think Whoopi just needed to be given the space on the next episode to say, I didn't mean to offend anyone. This is what I meant. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah, but what she said doesn't need more context. Man's inhumanity to man is pretty clear.
Yeah, but we live in a very reactionary society at this point.
But that's not her problem.
No, it's not her problem, but she is on a public platform. And the same way we're asking Rohan to answer to the fact that he is on a public platform and says very public shit that upsets people. Whoopi said something that upset people. Whether they should be upset or not is another question. But she said it publicly, so you enter yourself into the court of public opinion when you say things on a nationally syndicated television show.
I guess.
She's not wrong, though. I will never say she's wrong because I don't think she's wrong, and race is race, and the Holocaust is the Holocaust, and both of those things should be treated gently, but they're not the same.
No.
They're not
the same. I agree.
They're not the same, and I think that's what this comes down to. So, hopefully Whoopi gets to keep her job. I actually I don't really watch The View, but the times that I have seen The View, I like Whoopi on The View. I think she's great for them. I think she kind of keeps them in line.
It's a good cast. I've seen it many times. I used to work somewhere where it was on all the time, mm-hmm. and because they DVR'd it and used to play it, and I think it's a very balanced show. I think they've done a good job of putting a cast together, even though I understand that the cast has changed a few times. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't change. Optics don't change the situation.
Right.
She said what she said, and she should be allowed to stay. And honestly, if I was Whoopi and I got suspended, I may not come back.
Well, that's how I feel, and I kind of feel like she might be like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, I wouldn't come back.
Because again, Whoopi gets jobs. Whoopi doesn't need The View.
No.
The View is a steady paycheck, and that's nice to have.
Sure.
But she doesn't need it.
And she's also not a spring chicken who's just starting out. Whoopi can do plenty of shit if she wants to.
Mm-hmm. She's really been getting in her director bag, too. I mean, good for her.
Word. We're rooting for you, Whoopi.
We are rooting for you, Whoopi. I hope you hear this and, share it with all your friends.
That would be awesome, right? Our pilot episode.
The plug.
You know what I'm saying? If Whoopi was the plug, that would be nuts.
That would be dope.
Then Rohan would really be in trouble.
Fuck Rohan, by the way. I don't know if I said that.
You did, but
Oh, fuck him.
Keep doing it, no problem.
So, what's next? Are we talking about I can't even say it. It's a tongue twister.
The Tinder Swindler
The Tinder Swindler.
Sure, let's do it. So, we watched The Tinder Swindler. It's on Netflix. It's new and allegedly trending and allegedly in the top 10 of the U.S. views.
Do you believe that?
No! Don't nobody believe that shit.
I look at it all the time and I'm like,
come on, man.
Why is it always the things I want to watch that are in the top 10?
Come on, listen. When you control the platform, you control the numbers.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, that's like when Def Jam would buy a bunch of the new album and be like, "Oh, the Jay-Z album is number one." Of course, it's crazy.
You made sure. Then
Jay-Z would be like giving out CDs in Marcy, like, "Yo, my new CD is hot. Check it out, Jay-Z. We love you, but I'm just saying." Yes, rest in peace to CDs. Records. No, vinyl's popping.
I know vinyl's popping, but. Oh man, but it's not like it used to be when, growing up and, you had to, the little entertainment center we had, you had to push the door and it would pop open.
That's right.
And then the records would be so, the needle would be so dirty that it would be crackling, that crackling sound.
That crackling sound. That defines so many samples in hip hop.
Yes.
So many samples.
Do you know what song I used to like to play on vinyl?
What's that?
Pass the Dutchie.
Oh, nice.
My dad had Pass the Dutchie.
That's gangster.
I would play that all the time.
That's gangster.
All the time. Anyway, back to the Tinder Swindler.
Tinder Swindler. Yo, I don't even know where to start. That was a wild doc.
Also, fuck him.
Which him? My man had like 80 identities.
Shimon, Simon, Sharon.
What was it? David something at the end?
David
Sharon. There you go.
David Sharon.
Which was Sharon, but whatever. Sharon.
Well, I guess, he's Israeli, so it's Sharon.
Sure. Whatever.
I mean, listen.
My man had a lot of names, a lot of scams, and still doing it apparently.
He's still doing it.
They living it up.
He does not want for anything today.
They showed my man chilling with the model girlfriend in Israel, all type of fly cars and stuff.
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How stupid do you have to be?
All right, wait.
Can we talk about how dumb these women were dumb? Well, okay, some of them. One of them was smart enough to figure out how to fuck him over.
She sure did, and she's why he got arrested. Allison, right? Or Alyssa?
Eileen. Eileen was her name. Eileen said, you know what? He screwed me over.
I'm taking all his clothes.
I'm taking all his clothes and I'm selling that shit on eBay.
Sold all his clothes.
Told him she was going to sell it for him. Oh, yeah, I got you, baby. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to sell your clothes and send you the money. What money? Nope. She collected all of that money for herself. And still collecting. And it's still collecting. Eileen was smart.
Well, she was smart once she got hip to the game.
Well, the other women had to be dumb for Eileen to thrive. Sure. Right? Because without them, she would probably be just as dumb as them.
Yeah, because homeboy was running up the numbers. His scam was pretty fly. Like, I mean...
Okay, so explain the scam.
Alright, so for those who haven't seen the doc...
And y'all should go watch the doc. These are spoilers, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. It really happened in real life, so technically it's not a spoiler.
Shrug. I don't know the spoiler rules anymore because, like, a box office hit movie will come out and 5 hours later, the whole thing is spoiled on the internet.
Right. So here's what we'll say. Spoiler alert, we're giving away what happened. I mean, we already kind of did, but we're giving away what happened. So if you need to pause this and go watch it and then come back, do that. Otherwise, here we go.
Right. So there's this guy. He's on Tinder. On Tinder, his name was Simon. And he was up there faking it till you making it. You know what I'm saying? So he was there. He had all like the yachts and private jets.
The fancy clothes.
The fancy cars. All the club parties. He had all the stuff that the rappers emulate. Allegedly it was for real. And his scam was that he was the son of a billionaire diamond guy. Mm-hmm. And he was the son, the Prince of Diamonds, quote unquote, as the one chick called him. And he would flash all this money and do all these things that...
Wine and dine these women.
Yeah, he was doing next level stuff, flying them out on private jets the same day he met them, and flying them to different countries, and paying for expensive things, and then... Once he baited them in, he would say, like, I got meetings, but I'll be back. And then he would fly them to different places to meet him. And then after, like, a month or so of that, however long it took them to get stupid enough to be with him, once he knew that they were salivating at the mouth over him and his quote-unquote riches, then he would come up with an alleged attack.
His enemies.
Right. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Hey, he was on his Drake shit. I got enemies, baby. I got enemies. Or however the shit goes. I don't know the Drake stuff. So he would say that because it was always the same story, which we'll get to. Mm-hmm. But his story was that his bodyguard was attacked and trying to defend him. And he had video. It was video of him in an ambulance, and there was blood on him. And the bodyguard had stitches and blood. Looked all legit. Probably was legit from some point, but we don't know the real reason.
Right. They probably got into a bar fight.
Yeah, it probably was a bar fight. Or maybe he just was like, yo, you know what we about to do, so let me just hit
right.
you. He's like, let me just hit you.
You are probably right.
Yo, Fight Club style. Hit me as hard as you can.
They staged that shit. You're right.
Yeah, it's possible. He probably was like, all right, Peter, you know what we trying to do, so you got to get cut up. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in order to earn your keep, so... The video footage that they send the girlfriend each time is of Peter, which is his bodyguard, in the ambulance with him, bleeding, getting stitched up, having stitches. And he's like, oh my God, my enemies in the diamond game are after me and my dad. And
it's so bizarre. It's so unbelievable.
he's like, my enemies, they're doing all these foul things. And then it would escalate from there. So that was the start. And then from there, it allegedly always got worse. Then it was that they were tracking his phone. They were tracing his credit cards. They were hacking his credit cards. They were hacking his bank accounts. This son of a billionaire suddenly had no access to any money, and he needed to borrow money. So, of course, the good girlfriend or friend later, because the second chick in the doc was a friend. She was not his girl. So he would borrow money, and then he would just continue to make you believe that his enemies, quote unquote, were doing all these things to block credit cards and stop him from going places and stopping him from getting cash. Long story short, he basically got all these different women to take out credit cards and get loans and just give him all the money. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per woman. And in the doc is basically 3 women, but we learn about many more women throughout the doc. Go ahead.
What frustrates me about this is that, yes, these women were victim to his bullshit. Yes. However,
we left out a part. An important part.
What part?
What he was doing with their money.
Oh, so it was basically a Ponzi scheme. He would take money from one to spend money on another, and then he would swindle money out of that one to spend money on another woman. Right.
So one example was, he said like, hey, I got to catch a flight. I have a business meeting in, for example, New York City. So you would send the money, and it would be 5 people on the flight, but 2 of them were not the people you thought were there. It would be like a homegirl and the other girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And that was one example that he did often. All right, go ahead.
Let me just say this. Just a word to the wise or
the
to
unwise?
Or to the unwise, all right? Any nigga.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me get my water. Go ahead. Any nigga. Ain't no nigga like that. Okay.
Any nigga who starts off with a whole lot of money and then all of a sudden he's broke, fuck that nigga. Abort. Abort.
That was not a good time to drink water.
Abort. Do not do it. Any nigga, I'm going to say it again. Any nigga who starts out with a shit ton of money today and then next week doesn't have any, run. Run. I have been there, which is why I am able to say this with certainty. I have never been swindled because I saw the signs. Run. Because it doesn't happen like that. You're not a millionaire today and then you have no resources next week. Yes, you could lose your money, you could go broke, you could get robbed, all of that.
Hacked.
However, you get hacked. However,
Detroit scams.
let me just
listen, little TJ might clean you out.
In the words of a problematic man, when a rich nigga wants you.
Oh.
Okay?
Right? Go ahead.
Listen, you will know. If he is really rich, he will know other rich people. He is not coming to your broke ass for money. That doesn't make any sense. He knows you don't have any money.
Right.
Now you're taking out loans and shit. He's rich.
Big ass loans that he was gonna pay back.
Right.
And yo, this dude was good because he would even pay back some of the money.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So they would be like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I've taken out $50,000 of loans. He'd be like, you know what? You're right. Let me wire you $200,000 real quick. Mm-hmm. Gangster.
But he was writing these checks and then the bank couldn't cash
later
them.
on. Yeah.
The bank couldn't cash his checks. And he was one of those people who, again, you have to watch out for. he owes you $40,000, but he's sending you $100, sir. Maybe if you would have sent me $20,000 extra, I would have been like, oh, okay. But this dummy was like, oh my gosh, you sent me $100,000.
Because those chicks were so enamored.
Girl, why?
By what they saw, the optics. See, we live in an era of optics.
We do.
So when these women, because all this shit was recent. Because the first one they found out from Finland was 2016. So this shit happened recently. So these women were so enamored by the optics that they're like, well, he got it, girl. So, he gonna give me back the $40K.
Nah, fuck that.
Because his enemies are just making it so hard.
This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. If he today has exorbitant amounts of money and then next week does not, girl, run. Okay? Run. I know what I'm talking about because even broke niggas do it. I'm not even gonna get into, it doesn't even matter why I know this, but I do know this. Okay?
We believe you.
Okay?
We the people.
Anywho. Fuck him too.
Yo, my man was doing it.
He was trifling. He was so
the flyer
trifling.
shit. So I thought this is what you were gonna say. So when we were watching Doc, D was getting pissed off because anytime some bullshit happened, he just kept saying, "Man, my enemies, my enemies. It's you don't understand.
Who are your enemies,
my
Simon?
enemies.
Who are they? I was asking this. I was like, is it the mob? Is it a loan shark?
Yo.
Who is it? Are they gangbangers following you? Like, what did you do? Did you make a bad business deal with some very powerful people? Who are your enemies? Who are they? He never once said, oh my gosh, the mob is after me. Or, oh my gosh. He never said that. All he keeps saying is my enemies.
He did tell the one chick, I think it was the first one. Can't remember. At the end, there were so many we found out about, but he did tell the one chick it was rival people in the diamond industry.
All right, but okay, whatever.
Hey, I'm just saying maybe. He did give that one.
Well, we later found out that he has nothing to do with the diamond industry.
Absolutely nothing.
So,
and the family he claims he's a part of, and the business he claimed he was a part of.
They don't know who that man is.
He don't even know who this dude is. Sorry.
I can't even believe. I'm always fascinated to find out that people do this shit and keep it up for so long because I could barely tell a white lie. And
I mean, that's a good thing though.
It is a good thing.
Unless you're trying to scam.
I'm not trying to scam. I don't think I'd be.
Then it's all good.
I don't think I'd be a good scammer.
Probably not if you can't lie.
No, not at all. Not at all. What else we got on the list?
Oh, I say you're done with Tinder Swindler?
I mean, what else is there to say about the Tinder Swindler? He was a swindler. He was Tinder. Terrible. Those women, I mean...
I just think it's crazy because even at the end, the first lady, what was it, Cecilia or something like that?
Cecilia, yeah.
See? Cecilia was like, I'm still on Tinder. And I'm looking for love.
I would be terrified.
Oh, actually, the producer asked that because in the beginning, that's the first thing she said.
That's the first thing
she said. People are on Tinder for lots of different reasons, and they list the reasons, and her profile said she's on Tinder looking for love. Which I must have missed an entire era of Tinder because I always understood that Tinder was the fuck buddy app at best. Yes. I thought Tinder was like the one night stand app.
But I will say I do know people who have met on Tinder and ended up in long relationships.
I mean,
I don't think it happens often.
But that's what I'm saying.
And I think it's a regional thing.
Because I've always known people to be like, yo, I'm horny tonight. I'm jumping on Tinder. Let me see what's hot in the streets.
But it's also a regional thing. Because we live in the New York tri-state area. So everybody's pre-pandemic, everybody was
hookup culture?
Yeah. Everybody was on the prowl.
Yep.
People weren't really looking for... People overwhelmingly are not looking for, families and these long-term relationships in the city. It's a lot of younger people who are in
heat.
I was going to say younger. I was gonna say in business. I was gonna say younger professional people.
Whoops.
But then you go to places like San Francisco where people tend to settle down more. Even though there's a scene over there, you know, you have the Silicon Valley and all of that going on over there, but those people are more inclined to look for families and whatnot. So a friend of mine actually has met her guy on Tinder. She lives out in San Francisco. They met out there and they've been together for like 5 years now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I had no idea. When we first started the doc, she was like, yes, there are people on Tinder for all different kind of reasons. Yeah, some of us are looking for love. And I was love on Tinder. And anyway, at the end of the doc.
And they were in Europe, so... Yeah, I don't even know what I don't even know what Tinder looks like. Yeah, I would think everybody's getting it in Europe on Tinder, but maybe I'm wrong.
They was in Morocco and all type of fly. Where's the other spot they was at a couple times that they showed all the celebs? She said, "Bring all your bikinis."
Oh, I don't remember, but Tel Aviv.
Was that where it was?
I don't know if that's where it was, but they showed they panned a video of Tel Aviv, and I was like, Tel Aviv looked kind of sexy.
It was looking delicious.
Yes, it
Scrumptious.
did. I said, well, do I need to go to Tel Aviv?
And listen,
will they let me in?
Just watch out with him. He might still be out there.
I know what he looks like.
I hope so after the doc.
You know, he's been made.
He's been made, but he's made still, so he's chilling. But anyway, I was going to say, at the end of the doc, she said, oh, I'm still on Tinder. And the producer said, are you looking for love? And she cut off, was like, still looking for love. Always. She said always as an exclamation point. Always.
Well, because that was one of the first things she said. One of the first things she said was that the amazing thing about love is that no matter how many times you experience heartbreak, you still have a desire to love. I was like, I don't know who she is speaking for, but she is not speaking for me.
Nor is she speaking for me because yeah.
I mean, like, you broke my heart. That's it.
First of all,
no one else.
If I get scammed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars on Tinder, which is my fault. Right? If I'm her, it's my fault. But if it happened on Tinder, I'd get traumatized anytime I even heard the name Tinder, let alone looking on the app. Are you nuts?
I wouldn't get back on it.
Fuck out of here.
I'd
probably start an anti-Tinder platform. Like,
or at least go somewhere where you're behind a paywall. Yeah. And there's more quality and people
get on Bumble or some shit. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what the fly app is.
I don't know. Oh. I don't know either.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't do any paywall apps.
But yeah,
my theory is if it's a dating app and I gotta pay, it ain't for Jay.
Why?
I'm not paying for a dating app. There's mad free dating apps.
Okay, but you don't think you would find better quality?
No, because a lot of times the fee. What it is the apps. A lot of them are free, but it's like, but if you want to be able to message Dion directly, then you got to pay us $6 a month. I'm not paying you $6 a month to message Dion directly. Like, no.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Anyway, that's it for Tinder Swindler. Are we done here, or you want to get something else out?
All right. So we're gonna do this thing. We'll probably do it weekly. You can start it off because you had one.
Okay. So this is some whack ass lyrics that artists got away with that we probably shouldn't have let them get away with. Yes. So here's one of my favorite examples. I love the song Bartender by T-Pain.
Yes.
But he says, she made us drinks to drink.
We drank them.
Got drunk. That's... Oh, let's hit them one more time in case they didn't catch that.
All right. She made us drinks.
She made us drinks to drink. We drank them. Got drunk. What the fuck is that?
I mean, and T-Pain is talented.
T-Pain is the man. And when he was saying shit like that, he was on fuego.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when Bartender came out, he was
Come
at the top
on.
of his
He was
game.
that dude. He did not need to say that whack shit. But what I can't figure out is, why we let artists get away with these wild-ass lines?
Well, because it was T-Pain, and he had already given us I'm Sprung, and what's the I'm in love with a stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper.
I mean, why would we... Oh, and what was the other one? Somewhere
Studio?
Wisconsin.
Oh.
We let him say Wisconsin, too.
We did let him say it was cancer.
Ooh, I can't believe it.
There it is.
Yes. I mean, he has hits.
She all on me. On me.
Yeah.
No, he has hits. You know, T-Pain is the man.
I was in the club.
Now, that's a good Verzuz. Did you see that Verzuz?
No.
T-Pain and Little John? That is a great... It's a party.
Oh,
it's not a Verzuz. It's a party.
Do you know what my favorite Lil Jon line is? Should I share it with the class?
That's up to you, player.
No, maybe another.
That's up to you. Listen. I'm not going to be, the blame of it.
Can I play with your penny line? All right, I'm done. We're done here. We need to wrap this up now.
All right, so what's your lyric? You had one we heard earlier.
Yes. It was Mary J. Blige.
What's the song?
What is the song actually called?
Let's go to the videotape.
Okay, well, the line is, in this dancery. Mary, why? Why?
Family Affair.
Family Affair is what it was called. And she had that cute little dance that she did.
Right. She had her very recognizable dance.
But Mary, what is a dancery?
I don't know.
What is a dancery?
I don't know.
And why are we in it?
That's like the dance hall, the club?
No, but then say dance hall or the club. What is a dancery and why are we there?
I mean, why did T-Pain need to explain that whole process to us? He couldn't just say she gave us some strong-ass drinks.
And we love Mary. And so we were like, yeah, girl. And I think that was around the time where she got married to Kendu. And we thought that he was an okay, person for her to be with.
I don't know.
I don't know when they got married. I'm pretty sure that was around that time. So
do you know when they got married?
No, but
because I'll say I could pull up the record drop.
It doesn't matter. Let me build this narrative here.
Do your thing, player.
Let me build the narrative. I'm pretty sure that was around that time. So she was just generally in a good mood,
right?
And she was excited, and then she comes out with this song and starts talking about being in the dancery, and we
need to let her get away with that shit. We shouldn't have let her get away with that one.
Let her get away with dancery.
I feel you.
But it's Mary.
You remember? All right.
It's Mary.
Never mind. I'll go bring up another one, but forget it.
I mean, if you have another one, let's just throw it out.
So I remember when I Need a Girl Part 2 came out.
Okay.
And Diddy said, have you ever been to San Joe play? Seen the brother playing Mandolay? And everyone killed him. Everyone. I remember all the radio shows at the time was like, but this motherfucker don't know it's not a mandolin.
It's a mandolin.
It's a mandolin. It's not a mandolay. This motherfucker's a mandolay. Who wrote that? What's wrong with Diddy? And I was like, damn, they are killing him. And years later, I'm like, well...
What was a mandolay?
I don't know. But, a brother was playing it. That's what he said.
That song was my shit, though.
No, that song is a classic.
I mean...
Everyone loves that song. From you could put it on right now for someone who never heard it. And they're like, "Oh, this is the shit. I'll be bumping this the rest of my life."
It's very easy to bop to.
Extremely. It's got so many talented people on it.
Yes, and we accept the mandolay.
You do?
Do we not?
I don't know. I mean, if we accept dancery and drinks to drink, we drank them, got drunk, then I guess. But my point was they did not let Diddy get a pass. So I'm shocked that some of this other stuff got a pass. Because they were killing him on the radio. He even went to do an interview, and they went from asking him about J-Lo and all that stuff, because that's what was going on at that time. And he was like, yeah, but Diddy, what the fuck is the mandolin? And he was like, huh? He's like, it's a mandolin, Diddy. It's Puffy, whatever they were calling him at that time. Like, it's a mandolin, not a mandolay. He was like, yo, the song is hot, man. That's what matters.
I mean, he was right.
He was right.
A hit. But, and if anyone knows hits.
And the person we started mentioning earlier, he's been spelling his name wrong for, 30 years?
Who?
F-A-B-O.
Oh, well, all right. We could get into that another day. We don't want to do all of them in one sitting.
True.
So we can save that. But like I said earlier, Fab can spell to his heart's content. Okay?
You got it.
Okay? I don't have...
Fab had niggas fucked up in school.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had the right fabulous the right way. And niggas is like, oh, I know how to spell it. F-A-B-O-L-O-U-S. Got it. Failed. Wait, what?
Right.
What do you mean failed?
Right.
No, I have his album. It's like, that nigga failed too. Because that shit is wrong.
Fab failed you.
Right. That's what they were saying. We was like, no,
Fab
he's the man.
You.
Fab is the man.
I mean, he's the man until you need to spell, and then
or until he got a bad with Jadakiss. But we'll save that for another time.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Are we wrapping this up?
We are out of here.
Episode.
All right. This is our pilot episode.
Pilot up, but the problematic pilot.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
Double P. Problematic pilot.
Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for being a part of it.
Chris with a K.
Chris with a K. Oh, God. Yo, people really gonna think that's my name if they don't pay
Chris
attention.
with a K, and I am Dashing D, and
My God.
we'll be back.
Peace.